Hi, welcome to the Wisdom Inspired Talk podcast. Thank you for joining me today. I am Yomi Akipelu, your wisdom coach, speaker, teacher, and author of Blow the Cap Off Your Capability and other books. In this podcast, we will learn from the wisdom of wise men and women from ancient and contemporary times. We will glean wisdom from books, biographies, teachings, quotes, and sayings of sages through the ages. So, let's dive right in. Today, we'll be speaking about fear. First, a quote and a story. Jack Canfield said, "Everything you want is on the other side of fear." The story is told about a man who approached a farmhouse, and every few yards he noticed signs that read, "Beware of dog." When he finally reached the farmhouse, he discovered the dog was a tiny chihuahua. "You mean to tell me that this little dog keeps people away?" he asked. The farmer smiled and said, No. But the signs do. It's the fear of the dog that keeps the people away. Fear roars like a lion, but much of the time when we confront it, it's just a little chihuahua. So, if you're going to be successful in life, you must move against your fears. You have to do the very thing that you fear the most. To fear the future is to waste the present. So don't fear the future. God is already there. Fear God and nothing else. The truth is, you can face anything when you know God has promised. "I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee," says Isaiah 41 verse 13. So instead of fearing the worst, start believing God for the best. And you can do this by personalizing His promises and refusing to speak in fear. For example, instead of being afraid that you will not have enough to meet your needs, you can say, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Instead of fearing that you will be overcome by evil, you can simply say, "Even when I go through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for He will be with me." Instead of saying, "I'm going under, I'm going to fail," declare boldly, "God has said to me, He will never leave me nor forsake me. He is my helper. I shall not be afraid." So remember, instead of thinking fear, speak faith. Speak the promises of God. Billy Sunday said, "Fear knocked at my door. Faith answered it, and there was no one there." And Michelle Obama said, "Bullies are scared people living inside scary people." What we give our attention to, we also give authority to. Even if fear is present in your heart, do not allow it to be president of your mind. Even when it is trying to get a leg into your house, don't open the door for it into your life. Don't allow it into your lounge. You don't have to allow it in to fill your windscreen. Don't get on the train of thought that focuses on the situation and doubt, fear, or negativity. This will lead to failure and defeat. Shift your focus on the promises of God, on the faithfulness and goodness of God, on the good things that have happened to you, on the good things that God has done for you. That is the train of faith and hope, and the destination is victory and success. The greatest enemy of peace within are fear and worry. We have no control over the reality that is in the world. There is no doubt that we will have trouble in this world. Even Jesus Christ said, "In the world you will have trouble." But we do have control over whether we decide to allow our hearts to be troubled. Worry will rob you of your joy. Fear will steal your freedom. For what we fear establishes the boundaries of our freedom. What we fear has mastery over our souls. When we are fearful, we lose our strength. When we are anxious, we lose our courage. When we have found peace, we have both strength and courage to live life to the full. So don't allow fear, don't allow worry. Choose peace, choose strength, choose courage, and live your life to the full. Peace does not come because we have everything under control. On the contrary, peace comes when we understand that we don't need to be in control to enjoy a full life. You cannot control your circumstances, but you can control your character. You can control your responses. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can control the choices you make. You cannot control the outcome, but you can always control the process. When you refuse to allow yourself to be paralyzed by the uncertainty of tomorrow and choose to live life with courage and faith, you begin to live an abundant life. Fear will make you surrender to a condition where we simply just exist. We're paralyzed by apathy or despair or discouragement. Worry consumes energy without productivity. Fear consumes energy while faith restores it. Don't let fear have mastery over your soul. Don't allow fear to create boundaries to your freedom. Refuse to be subjected to the tyranny of fear. Live fearlessly. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "We gain strength and courage and confidence by each experience in which we really stop to look fear in the face. We must do that which we think we cannot." So I encourage you, look fear in the face and do what you think you cannot. Michelle Obama said, "Stand up to the bullies, but never stoop down to their level." And Waldo Emerson said, "Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain." You are most awake when your heart beats fastest, and you are most alive when your fears shout loudest. Robert Schuller said, "Fear not that you might fail. Fear rather that you might never succeed if you never dare to try. Fear not that you might make a mistake believing in your dream. Fear rather that if you don't go for it, you might stand before God and He'll tell you that you could have succeeded if you had had more faith. Fear not that you might fail. Fear rather that you will never succeed if you don't start taking risks. Fear not that you might be hurt. Fear rather that you might never grow if you keep waiting for painless success. Fear not that you might love and lose. Fear rather that you might never love at all. Fear not that others might laugh at your mistakes. Fear rather that God will say to you, "O ye of little faith." Fear not that you might fall again. Fear rather that you might have made it the next time if you'd only tried once more and given it all you had. Fear is interest paid in advance on a debt you do not owe. Fear makes the wolf bigger than he is. Don't let fear rob you of your potential. Don't let it make you smaller than you really are. Believe God for great things. Then step out and attempt to do them in His strength. If you do, you will succeed, guaranteed. You cannot wish your way out of the prison of fear. You cannot wait your way out of it. You can only walk your way out of it, because action cures fear. The story is told about a man who worked the late shift at a factory. He was walking home at the late hours. One night, he took a shortcut through the cemetery. Failing to notice the new grave that had been dug in the center of the path, he fell into it. After several unsuccessful attempts to get out, he decided to relax until morning, when someone was around to help him. As he sat in the corner of the grave half asleep, a fellow traveler who had overindulged at the bar stumbled in beside him. Desperate to get out, the drunk started yelling and clawing frantically at the sides. At that point, our hero reached out, touched him gently on the leg and said, "It's no use, friend. I've tried. You'll never get out of here." But not surprisingly, he jumped out. Fear made him do what was seemingly impossible. So instead of letting fear cripple you, let it be a springboard to greater heights. You cannot reach your potential by staying where it's safe Shakespeare once said, "Our doubts are traitors, and they make us lose what we oft might win by fearing to attempt." So what would you attempt in life if you were sure you couldn't fail? Whatever it is, go do it today. Believe that God is on your side today. Then step out and attempt the very thing you would do if you knew you could not fail. And that is all for today. Until next time, keep on growing in wisdom and maturity. Blow the cap off your capability. Be unstoppable. Be awesome. I'm cheering you on.